I think if you all just will shout and stomp and clap your hands, the guys will come on stage.
Thank you very much. You're actually here.
All right, we're gonna play a tune from Illinois called "Knocking at the Kitchen Door."
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. I'm blanking on who that came from. Jesse James Abbott, maybe, I think. I can't remember exactly. But by golly, that tune, if you can't dance that, you can't dance to nothing.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue on here with a song that we learned from the other Bogtrotters from down there in Galax, Virginia. And
He inspired our name.
yes, inspired the name of the Volo Bogtrotters. But this is a great song. I love the title. It's called Deadheads and Suckers.
Quite appropriate.
Deadheads and suckers, how can you live? How can you live, Lord? How can you live? Deadheads and suckers, how can you live when good men are dying every day? Well, I'm going round the mountain, don't you wanna go? Don't you leave you now and leave you now. Going round the mountain and I'm bound to leave you now. Oh, darling, I don't know what to do. Oh, yeah. outshines the sun, outshines the sun, Lord, outshines the sun. Light in the graveyard, outshines the sun. Darling, I don't know what to do. Sheriff and police, they're running after me, Lord, running after me. High sheriff and police, they're running after me, Lordy, I don't know what to do. Mighty happy meeting, now don't you wanna go? Don't you wanna go, Lord, don't you wanna go? Mighty happy meeting, don't you wanna go? Yes, we're all gonna go. So it's deadheads and suckers. How can you live? How can you live, Lord? How can you live? Deadheads and suckers. How can you live when good men are dying every day?
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. We have to refer to our hillbilly
Teleprompter. Yep. We're old, we don't remember lyrics well anymore.
We have to relearn them off our recordings. And this one is on one of our recordings, which we have back there. This is an old song from West Virginia that a banjo player by the name of Oscar Wright sang. It's called Elkhorn Ridge.
Huh, it was just 3 hours ago, man.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I'm standing on old Elkhorn Ridge, my true love by my side, waiting for that eastbound train. We're looking to take a ride. Working on that county road for $1 and a dime. Give that $1 to my pretty little girl, and that whole dime is mine. Yonder comes my own true love, and she's all dressed in red. She is the darling the sun goes down. Thank you very much. Yeah. I didn't mean that, honey.
Yeah, we're just singing the lyrics as they did. We don't stand by that one.
We're acting.
All right. All right. We're going to change ethnicities here.
All right, we're gonna
Is this German?
get your partner for a shatish. Shatisha, as Michael Kennedy used to say. This one from Charlie Folk called Backdoor Schottish. Feel free to schottish up and down the aisles if you so desire.
Thank you.
The Shatish. We used to go see Pappy Taylor play at the Midway Tavern over there by north of Effingham, Illinois, and he'd play a schottish every now and again. Boy, everybody in that joint schottished. I mean, it was really weird seeing a whole full dance floor of people going around step, 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 hop, step, 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 hop.
I used to do that around here.
Yeah. Those people, I mean, I think when we went in there, we lowered the average age to maybe 70. Of course, now I am almost 70. So.
All right, so what do you got here for us, Chirps?
Oh, yes. We break out the high whine guitar now.
No.
Fred forgot his grass skirt, though.
No. No.
Well, this tune, many of you know about the music thing that went on up there in Bethel, Missouri. I don't know if it's still going on or not. But
It is actually, or it was. It did last year.
but we'd go up there and the fiddle contest, you know, during the weekend. And I remember I was wandering around back in the nether regions of the festival there and came across this guy kind of back there all by himself playing some tunes. And I recorded about 5 tunes from him, and 2 of them are tunes I'd never heard before. The one we're going to play, which is called Bowling Green. And I've since found out that this guy was Clarence Fisher from Bowling Green, Missouri. A great fiddle player, and his brothers played fiddle and guitars and stuff as well. But I got the other tune from him was Mr. Fisher's Old German Waltz, which pretty much entailed the entire conversation I had with him, you know. So this one's Bowling Green, after Bowling Green, Missouri. Everybody polka.
All righty. Oh, geez. Okay, we're at the point in our show here where Chirps is going to sing
I apologize in advance.
he's going to sing a ballad, recently composed ballad from about 1927 about a bandit.
That's pretty new for us.
Yes, a criminal in North Carolina who he liked to rob banks and escape from jail, but it eventually cost him his life. But his adventures inspired 2 songs and 2 classic old recordings, and we're going to render one of them here for you. This is called Otto Wood the Bandit.
There's lots of words in this one, so I need the big music stand here.
It's also has large print.
My nemesis. Yeah. Large print. That's page 1. I still may mess it up, so I apologize in advance.
Okay, it's folk music.
One, two, what kind of tempo?
I'm not trying to remember.
Are you ready? Okay.
Step up, buddies, and listen to my song. Sing it for you, ride, boy. Let me try that again. Step up, buddies, and listen to my song. Sing it to you, ride, but you might think it's wrong. It's all about a man named Otto Wood. I can't tell you all, but I wish I could. He walked in a pawn shop one rainy day, and with the clerk he had a quarrel to say. Pulled out a gun and struck him a blow, and this is the way that the story goes. They spread the news as fast as they could. The sheriff served a warrant on Otto Wood. The jury said murder in the second degree, and the judge passed a sentence to the penitentiary. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, done dead and gone. Otto Wood, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out his 44 gun? They put him in the pen, but it done no good. It wouldn't hold a man they called Otto Wood. It wasn't very long till he slipped outside, dropped a gun on a guard, said, "Take me for a ride." The second time they caught him, it was way out west. In a hold-up gang, he got shot through the breast. They brought him back, and when he got well, they locked him down in the dungeon cell. He was a man that could not run. He always carried a 44 gun. He loved the women and he hated the law, and he just wouldn't take nobody's jaw. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, done dead and gone. Otto Wood, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out his 44 gun? Out west and he rambled all around. He met two sheriffs in a southern town. To the sheriff said, "Otto, step to the way, for I've been expecting you every day." He pulled out his gun and then he said, "Make a crooked move and you'll both fall dead. Crank up your car and take me out of town." And a few minutes later he was graveyard bound. Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, done dead and gone. Otto Wood, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out his 44 gun? Otto, why didn't you run? Otto, done dead and gone. Otto Wood, why didn't you run when the sheriff pulled out his 44 gun? It's a true story.
That's a true story.
At least much
true,
of it.
Yes, and here's another true story. We have never played that song out in public.
We recorded it on one of the Volo recordings, but
Never played
I've
it.
never been brave enough to actually try to sing it in public. Merci beaucoup. You're very kind and gracious.
Some would say don't encourage us.
Yeah. No. Yeah. All right.
Now we go down to the
Well, this is,
borderlands.
you're witnessing just an exercise by these guys to make me bring every instrument out of the house.
Where's your
We
uke?
each play one, he plays 12.
You forgot your uke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't make you bring the uke. And your Highland bagpipes.
Well, we're gonna do John Sharp's tune.
Yeah, John
And then
Sharp's
we're gonna
tune.
follow it up by another one in A. Soon to be named later. Or later to be named sooner.
Thank you.
Got myself a little tingle up there on one point.
Keep it up there, boss.
Oh, yeah.
We'll follow it up with one of our other favorite A tunes that we don't have to cross tune for. Learned this one from Craig Johnson, the old double-decker string band years ago.
Yeah, but
Fabulous musician, songwriter, player, all-around good guy.
Joke teller.
Joke teller, for sure. This one's called Boatin' Up Sandy. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty then.
Yeah, just playing that.
I just learned that tune this afternoon. From Fred.
There's been a lot of
Yeah, and
that.
I'd never played it before.
That's, there's a lot of that going on here tonight, folks. Be warned.
I like to keep it fresh, you know.
Yes, fresh. And,
Not over here.
yes, and on edge. Okay, so I'm gonna sing a song here that I learned from. I mean, it's one of the classic album old time music. It's Ralph Rinsler went down to North Carolina back about 1959 and went to a fiddlers convention and ran into Tom Ashley, who they didn't even know he was still alive. And I mean, he made records in the 20s, so that's why I said it. Anyway, he went back to record him about a year later, and ran into a guy playing guitar with him named Doc Watson. And this is a song that they recorded together. Tom Ashley played the banjo and Doc backed him up on the guitar. And it's kind of a bluesy number called Tough Luck. It's our life story here. One, two. Every man gets tough luck sometime. Every man gets tough luck sometime. Hope I'll be lucky some old day. I'm going where those chilly winds don't blow. 'Cause I'm going where those chilly winds don't blow. I hope I'll be lucky some old day. Every man has his day some old time. Every man has his day some old time. Hope I'll be lucky some old day. If I lose, let me lose, 'cause I don't care. If I lose, let me lose, 'cause I don't care. Hope I'll be lucky some old day. Thank you.
Mr. Jimmy's got the blues. Must be sitting under all these blue lights up here. That's
It's making me feel blue. All
all
right.
right. Now we got a tune that we learned from the great Noah Beavers. I'm sure some of you heard of Noah Beavers. He was a great fiddle player, banjo player, harmonica player, lived over in Elkville, Illinois. Originally lived down in Williamson County, was a coal miner, carpenter, all kinds of things, and besides being a musician. And his daddy, I think, was a fiddler too, George Beavers.
Yep. Great old time fiddler.
Yeah.
And a
He was one of the
character.
guys that we knew that he really, he really sounded old time. It was really arcade,
Yep.
nice stuff, beautiful things. And this is a tune that he played called "The Rabbit in the Woodpile." Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
have to sort through the file here till I get to the right one. Another good dance tune.
Thank you.
I saw some people dancing back there, and I knew they couldn't resist.
That's a good one. Miss Illinois. He was a funny guy. He had a banjo. He had a banjo, had about 1,000 brackets on it. And he used to say, you can tell how the more brackets a banjo has, the more high quality a banjo is.
Mo better.
So we knew.
Mo brackets, mo better.
Mo better.
They're always trying to compensate.
Yeah. He must have had one of those old silver tunes.
I don't don't think you could have put one more bracket on there, man. There's just not any room.
Well, here's one I learned from a real good friend of mine. His name was Tyler Wilson. Lived up in Evanston, Illinois for years and years. He's a great banjo player, builder, made great banjos. And played in a band called the NRA for the National Recovery Act. And they ended up changing that because of current times.
Just because.
Yeah.
They changed it to the National Rifle Association.
Yeah. But those guys were great. It was Tyler and his best friend Dave Prine, who is the self-described infamous older brother of John Prine. And
They're a great band.
and they were a great band, and they played all sorts of stuff like this. And they got this
Fine
one.
humans, too.
Learned this from Stu Jameson, who had a band called Stu Jameson and his Boys. They were recorded on one of the early Folkways albums or Vanguard albums, I think.
I think it was on that Here I Am Record Geek.
We
It was
can
on that
consult the record
It was on
collector
that
librarian.
Electra compilation called the String Band Project.
The String Band Project.
String band
that's right.
project, yeah.
If you don't have that record,
I
you
have
should
that
try
record.
and find it.
Who has this record? Who has that record?
Who has that record out there? It's you, me, Chirps. Got one I'll
And
sell.
where are they now? Just wait, there's more.
Mine's
No,
somewhere,
there's no more.
mine's somewhere in the basement of my house at the moment.
All right, so we're going to just start this off on our typical way, which is one person starts and the others come in whenever they recognize the tunes. No kidding. You should have seen it
Got
this
that right.
afternoon. I don't even recognize the tune.
Going around the mountain
Oh, yeah. That's all around.
Whoops.
I'm playing
Hey,
Deadheads and Suckers.
That's a
aren't I?
different song. All around the mountain and it was so cold, honey.
There we go. Do we know this one?
We did this
I
afternoon.
love this tune. Right. There we go.
Put a big hand for Chirps.
Well, it's all around the mountain and it was so cold, honey. All around the mountain and it was so cold, hey, hey. All around the mountain and it was so cold, couldn't hear nothing but the car wheels roll, hey. I'm standing on the corner with my hat in my hand, honey. Standing on the corner with my hat in my hand, hey, hey. Standing on the corner with my hat in my hand, looking for a woman, ain't got no man, hey. One of these days, and it won't be long, honey. One of these days, and it won't be long, hey, hey. One of these days, and it won't be long.
Ain't no use me working so hard, hey, hey. Ain't no use me working so hard. I'll get a gal in the rich folks' yard, hey. So it's all around the mountain and it was so cold, hey. All around the mountain and it was so cold, hey, hey. All around the mountain and it was so cold, couldn't hear nothing but the car wheels roll, hey.
Hey, Dolly, we got two eventually.
Well, we got there, sort of.
Thank you very much.
Woohoo.
You guys have been great. We're going to play one more here, and then we're going to take a little break. We're going to take about a 10-minute break and see you in about a half hour. And, so,
It's some sort of quantum thing.
yeah. No, we'll take a short break. We have a couple of CDs back there. Chirps, and Fred and I actually, and a few other people around here. Jeff Miller, who's out here. Dave Landreth, who's not out there, I don't think. A bunch of us got together and did a CD about 20 years ago almost. And I have a basement full of them, so I'd appreciate it if you guys, they're 10.
Which one's that?
They're $10, and there's a new Volo Bogtrotter. It's actually old stuff. It's
Got
30
some
years old.
Newly released thing.
30, yeah, and a couple things that had never been heard before. And that's on the table too. It's a double
Is that the
CD.
ones down in Little Egypt? Is that the one you're talking about? You have those?
That's the one. That's your stuff.
Yeah.
We're not very well organized.
I thought maybe you had 1 million of those in
No,
your cellar.
I do. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Anyway, they're back there. It sounds just like this, only better. Because we could take another, if we made a mistake, we could stop and start over.
And it's really us in the picture. We're reverting to the old politician's trick of using like a 30-year-old picture to run for office and hope somebody.
Yeah.
All right, Chirps.
All right, we'll do the Illinois Dry and Dusty.
Thanks a lot, folks. See you in a
Thank
few
you very
minutes.
much.
Merci beaucoup. Let's go out to the lobby.
Somebody come and get me out of this chair.
We're going to start you off with a little duet and fiddle on banjo.
Hello. This is a nice Irish tune I learned from one of the first Irish records I ever got with the Folkways Irish dance music. And there's a group on there, the Bell Havel Trio, one of my favorite Irish groups ever. And they did this tune in a set. It's called Hut in the Bog. And I kind of turned it into an old-time fiddle and banjo duet with Fred's help. That's a good one there. That was recorded back about 1938, and that album was full of reissues of old 78s of Irish music. I learned a lot of tunes off there, and I remember going to a session in Chicago when I first moved up to Chicago in the late 70s, and I'd go to these old Irish sessions with some of the older Irish musicians. I remember playing a tune like that, or one of the other tunes I learned off that record, and the mostly older Irish musicians are going, "Boy, what's that? I haven't heard that in age."
Jeez.
Hut in the Bog.
Yeah. All right. So, going down to Texas now, taking you on a little road trip to Texas, about 150 years
From
ago.
Dublin to Texas.
Yeah. This is kind of an old ballad. It's about a young, or sung from the point of view of a young man who he's feeling kind of adventurous. So when he's 17, he joins the Texas Rangers, and he gets more than he's bargained. More than he bargained for. Anyway, it's called the Texas Rangers. extra that I will not tell. And here's to all you rangers, you know I wish you well. 'Cause at the age of 17 I joined the Jolly Band. We marched from San Antonio down to the Rio Grande. Our captain, he informed us, perhaps he thought it right. Before we reach the station, boys, surely have to fight. And when the bugle sounded, our captain gave command. To arms, he shouted, and by your horses stand. I saw the smoke ascending, it seemed to reach the sky. And then the thought had struck me, my time had come to die. So I saw the Indians come in, I heard them give a yell. My feelings at that moment, no tongue can ever tell. I saw their glittering lances and their arrows round me flew. And all my strength had left me, and all my courage too. And we fought for 9 hours fully before the fight was o'er. The likes of dead and wounded I never seen before. And when the smoke had risen and the Indians they had fled, we loaded up our rifles and counted up our dead. And all of us was wounded, our noble captain slain. The sun was shining sadly across the bloody plain. 16 as brave rangers as ever rode the west was buried by their comrades with arrows in their breasts. And now my song is ended, I guess I've sung enough. Life of any ranger you see is very tough. And if you have a mother that don't want you to roam, I advise you by experience you'd better stay at home. Thank you.
Yeah, buddy.
All righty.
Now from Texas to what Dennis Stromat would call northern Louisiana.
Yeah. No.
Old mines.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah, this next piece is this kind of a square dance tune that comes from a French fiddler that lived down around old mines or cadet someplace down there. His name was Joe Polite. He was a rough fiddler, but he was good.
Yes, sir.
Traded mules.
And he was a mule trader at one point in his life. I don't know how you made a living trading mules. I don't know. But anyway, he was quite a character. And wait a minute, hang on just one second. Chirps asked if you were in tune. I think we're in tune. All right. Anyway, this is called Grand Picnic. Thank
He
you.
played here in St. Louis several times. I
Yes,
know.
he did. I think he played at the Frontier Folklife Festival back in the early days.
And that French thing that they.
And that
music
French thing, that
French
French
music
thing.
thing they had here. So, some years back,
Yes,
like 40 years ago.
yes. So, let's see. While we're in the French mood, we're going to play another.
Now we'll go to proper Louisiana in honor of Mardi Gras coming up here.
See if I can remember how this goes. You got earplugs? Put them in now.
Jim will now be doing a 20-minute triangle solo. He learned from Christine Balfa.
This is a waltz, though. We had a discussion out in the hallway, and some folks said, well, you haven't played any waltzes yet. And,
Oh, yes, we have.
we particularly like French ones, so we'll figure we'll play this Crowley waltz.
Carly Waltz from the Hackberry Rambler is one of the longest lived bands in existence, I think. I think me and Fred went and saw them in Chicago one time, and they'd been a band at that point for like 60 years. There was some guy playing drums in the band. He was saying, "No, I'm the new kid, the young one in the band. You know, I've only been with them 20 years."
I'm only 60.
I got the right.
How's this even go?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Remind me how this goes.
Yeah. Here we go again.
All right, Fred, you started, and we'll come
Yeah.
in when we recognize it.
This is one I just wrote down on a list because I was trying to brainstorm things that I might know or remember.
And we forgot to play it today.
We
so-
forgot to play it today, so.
I say we like to
should be
keep it
interesting,
fresh.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Starts in a 1, goes to a 4. So it's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's basically that, and then the other thing. So.
Yeah, okay. This is recorded back in about 1926 by, what's his name? Frank Blevins, who was 16 years old at the time, and his Tar Heel Rattlers.
Tar Heel Rattlers.
And he was a cocky kid. He went into town one day when his record came out, and there was they used to sell records in the furniture stores, and he was in there, and the lady that owned the store played this record, and he goes, "I can play it every bit as good as that," and they're like, she didn't know who he was, and so he and his band, they got on and they played this record they played this tune exactly like the record. And I was like, what the
It's
heck?
almost like they'd recorded it.
It's almost like it's almost like me.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is called "Don't Get Trouble in Your Mind," and we try to live by that advice, but
Yep.
just
Good
it's really
advice.
hard, Don't get
trouble
trouble
in
in
your
your
mind.
mind.
Well, really, the singer of this song, whether it's Frank Blevins or whoever, he was acting to be not quite a nice guy when you find out what he's saying in the song. But,
Say la vie.
he writes a great song. So.
Well, day is breaking, breaking in my heart. Believe I am a poor old man without my old sweetheart. Don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind. I went to see that gal of mine, stood in the door and cried. Said I was the meanest boy that ever lived to die. Don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind. Well, last time saw her standing at the door, Johnny's arm around her waist, the baby on the floor. Don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind. So if you see that gal of mine, tell her if you can, before she gets the bacon bread, to wash her lazy hands. Don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind. So day is breaking, breaking in my heart. Believe I am poor old man without my old sweetheart. Don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind. Say don't get trouble in your mind, don't get trouble in your mind.
Thanks.
Just like the original.
Dang. So that's how that goes.
Oh, yeah, we got my tune.
Shoot. Okay, let's see.
So I occasionally make up some tunes, and this is one of my more recent tunes that I've made up that hasn't really been been played out very much. I played it at the UFC Folk Festival a few weeks ago, and now I'm playing it here. It's a little tune in F and C. I call it the Kettle Bog. Kind of is named after I live in the Kettle Moraine State Forest in southeastern Wisconsin, and just south of my house there's a big kettle down there that's full of a leather leaf bog. So I just call it the Kettle Bog. It's really a lovely area. And, this tune is kind of like an homage to the weird old Mississippi fiddle tunes. Thank you very much. You're very kind and gracious. The Kettle Bog.
We're gonna do another tune here. It's kind of an unusual version of a pretty common tune. It's called Durang's Hornpipe. But this is a weird version that came from there's a recording, somebody, I don't know,
Kentucky fiddler named Jake Phelps.
Jake Phelps from out in western
I
Kentucky.
don't know
and
if Bruce Green found that guy or something like that.
I don't know. He was
I
decrepit.
first heard the record
Yeah.
from Don Petty and Bruce Green on,
Right.
on their album called Rare Old Chestnuts.
Rare, it is a rare old chestnut. And so was Jake Phelps when they found him.
Yeah, apparently.
He was
Are we ready? bit odd.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, where am
Oh, now we're gonna go back to Louisiana. Play an really old-fashioned Cajun reel. I believe that Mr. Campeau over here learned this tune sitting in a session with the godfather of the grandfather, the great-grandfather of Cajun fiddling, Dennis McGee.
Yeah, a long time ago,
On a distant planet
when we
far
were
away.
when we were younger and much stupider and riskier with our lives, we climbed into a van
with a couple
and
other people.
with a couple other folks with a makeshift convertible table into a bed in the back and a lawn chair for a middle seat. And
It was totally safe.
it was a cheap van, but we drove all the way down to Louisiana for the Festival of Acadian, and
So
and,
Dennis McGee and Sadie Corvo played there.
and we did a lot of roaming around southwest Louisiana, and Mark Savoie's shop on Saturday mornings was the place to be for if you ever wanted to see some people jamming. And we got there early on that session, about 9:30, and McGee was already sitting there holding court, as he was known to do, I guess.
Just want to do.
And and Savoie he had recognized us because we had made a reputation of ourselves already by then. We
Were
were
you those
boosting the
guys in the
economy
white
of the
van?
Louisiana Liquor Society quite frequently. So
Well, and the other part of this story is if Chirps and I did not witness this because we had taken off with some girls the night before. And
Yeah,
we were at the radio show in
Right.
in
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 Mamou.
in Mamou, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
Which is another classic.
there's many
That's another-
subsets
that's
to this
another
whole
story
story that it'll be published someday, hopefully after we're
I
gone.
think they're making this into a mini-series.
yeah,
But anyway, Savoie grabbed me and he said, "You got to sit down next to this guy." And I got to sit right next to McGee and talk to him and learn a few licks. And I never got how he held his bow, which was like this paralytic kind of thing with, I don't know. It was just,
Intertwining your fingers.
it was
in the
odd,
bow.
but he was one of those old guys that stuck cork in the thing to make it tighter and stuff.
yeah.
But he was a beautiful human being, and when he looked at you, he had these clear, crystal clear, light blue eyes, and he just like tore right into you. And he spoke French. You know, he
Hardly
didn't-
spoke
He
English.
hardly spoke any English. But it was just great. It was one of the highlights of my life, honestly. So this is actually Susie Thompson turned us onto this tune first of all through a field tape she had, and that was why I sat down next to McGee to get him to play that, and just to be able to have the street cred to say, I learned this from him. But actually, it took years, sitting in front of the damn tape and working it out. But
And what's it called?
it is called the Reel de Coquin. And coquin's
Not cocaine,
no,
cocaine.
no, yeah, right. Yeah, well,
Not the reel of cocaine.
Hey, is that cocaine real? Yeah, well, that's pretty real. Yeah.
Yeah. Many years ago,
I learned it from Fred. I didn't learn it
yeah.
from Dennis McGee, unfortunately.
many years ago, Fred and I used to play in a band in Chicago with a fellow named Will Wedby and a couple of brothers named Charlie and John Tour. Charlie's they're both really good accordions, but Charlie played the accordion, John played the guitar, and Fred played the fiddle along with Will. And we had a Friday night gig at a Cajun restaurant near downtown Chicago. And when the weather was nice, we used to go outside and play. And one night we're out there playing, along and having a great old time. And all of a sudden I see two cops standing next to me. One had a decibel meter pointed right at this thing, you know. And apparently,
Did you break it?
and apparently, the guy that lived upstairs from the restaurant didn't like this music, and he didn't like the tenant downstairs. So he called the police, or he called his alderman, who called the police. And they're like, "You guys are too loud. He goes, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket. Now I can give one of you a ticket, or I can give all of you a ticket." And so,
We're not here to create disorder. We're here to preserve disorder.
And so Charlie was gracious enough to go talk to cops into giving him a ticket, but it was ridiculous. It was one of the more ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. I can give one of you a ticket.
Of course, John Tur was one of the original members of the Volo Bogtrotters.
So what are we playing now?
Well, here we go. Here we go again. But this one is one by somebody we're all very proud to be able to say that we actually know and are
We've known her for
friends
years.
with. We've known her for years, Raina Gellert. And she used to play in a band called Uncle Earl back in the early part of this century anyway. And she wrote this song, and it's called A Drinker Born. It's about a guy who just can't give up drinking and has a hard time. And they do it, on their album they did it just like a straight bluegrass style kind of thing. It sounded great. And I was bored one summer and decided to de-evolve it into what the original version would have sounded like if there was
If
such
there
a
had
thing.
been
There had been an original.
If her dad had played it.
Yeah, if Dan Gellert had played it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I couldn't get that arcade, but yeah. So I sent her the MP3. I texted it to her, and she was on tour. And I immediately got, like 4 minutes later, you know, it was only like a 2-minute tune. And 4 minutes later, I get this text going, "Holy, you know,
You could say
what did you do?"
We're
I
adults
said,
here.
You don't like it?" She goes, "I love it."
There you go.
So we're assuming that, you know, for this taping of this, that it's
she
okay.
loves
So
this.
if not, Raina, sorry. We had to fill out the set list.
We weren't doing enough things we didn't know already.
it's a hard life when you're a drinker born. And the only thing I ever done wrong was to take that first sip of corn. It is oh, it's a hard life when you're a drinker born. And the only thing I ever done wrong was to take that first sip of corn.
Acorn.
Man, that's a good one, huh? So,
Seems like a good time to have a
that's a good time to have a
So
sip
everybody
of beer.
drink. Yeah, feel happy about it.
Everybody can drop their masks and take a drink. Okay, we're gonna continue on here with, guess what, a fiddle tune.
fiddle tune, all right.
And I don't know much about this one, Chirps, so.
It's a tune that came from Gilbert Dale Ingram, Gib Ingram, we call him. I lived over by Oakland when we met up with him.
Oakland, Illinois.
Yep,
Which is
not
where?
California. It's straight out of Coles, buddy. Straight out of Coles County.
Okay.
And he called this one Calico's Corn. In the key of D.
It's in
Oh, really?
D.
Yeah.
Why
By
is
the
it-
way. Oh, by the way.
By the way. My bad.
Not a problem. I'm there.
Two banjos, no waiting.
Yeah.
there's I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Gary Harrison was really responsible for collecting a lot of this music, as many of you know. And he recorded this song, I think, from a fellow named William Fearington, if I recall correctly, or maybe it was from the Macintosh. I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
But at any rate, it's a great little ditty called "My Father Gave Me a Fortune." And I'll give you fair warning, I'm going to be singing this one.
We'll all be singing it.
When the Volo Bogtrotters recorded this, we decided we'd tack on a little tune afterwards, a tune that my somewhat feeble memory kind of remembered Bruce Green playing many years ago, called Coal Harbor Bend. So I sort of worked out my own way of playing it. I guess might be a little different.
Happy home. Now what do you reckon it was, sir? Home, happy home. Now what do you reckon it was, sir? Home, happy home. It was an old gray goose, sir. Home, happy home. It was an old gray goose, sir. Home, happy home. I took her home and cooked her. Home, happy home. I took her home and cooked her. Home, happy home. I cooked her about 6 weeks, sir. Home, happy home. I cooked her about 6 weeks, sir. Home, happy home. Took her out and tried her. Home, happy home. I took her out and tried her. Home, happy home. My fork, it wouldn't dent her. Home, happy home. My fork, it wouldn't dent her. Home, happy home. She laid and hatched 9 goslings. Home, happy home. She laid and hatched 9 goslings. Home, happy home. Home, happy home. My father gave me a fortune. Home, happy home.
Weird little tune.
Yes, last one.
All right. Well, we're going to end with a waltz, another French waltz. And just want to say thanks a lot for coming out, paying attention a little bit, facing the right way, clapping at the right time. It made it like a real show and everything. We kind of missed that. So. But really, thank you so much. Thanks to the Focal Point. Thanks to the sound crew and everybody that helps
Yes.
everybody out here.
Eric and
So,
Paul. Big hand for
yeah,
Eric and Paul.
really.
Yeah. This is what is his
We,
name? of
we
this
learned
tune?
this from recording by Dewey Balfa, the great Cajun
Yeah.
fiddler.
I think he wrote this tune, actually.
Well, I thought so too for a long time, but I think it is older tune. He kinda
I
made
stand
it-
corrected. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't really know. But we heard him play it live and on records and everything. It has a French name, and I'm not going to attempt to speak the French because I can't. You know, but it translates as "Dear Rosy Cheeks." So maybe you French speakers out there can silently say the name to yourself in French. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
very
folks. Thank you. had to walk off just to, continue.
We're trying to avoid deep vein thrombosis.
He's a lot older than I am. I don't know what he's talking about. So we
Never heard of it, right?
pick a tune.
What do you want to play?
Hey,
Banjo, fiddle.
let's play Rolling River and Fork of Deer.
All right. Sounds good.
It's something we know.
Gosh, let's see, where the Rolling River, that's one that I think came from Delbert Tarpley, as I recall, Olney, Illinois.
Home of the white squirrel, by the way.
Home of white squirrels. Have you ever been there and seen the white squirrels? I've seen them there. So we'll go from that into Forky Deer. There you have it.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it.